Outpost eggs.
Completely off the side of the camera. No one sees what I'm doing here, so.
Mark's eggs are not that big. It's very slippery.
In the meantime, it looks like one of our players has kept his opening 7, while the other seems to be mulliganing.
Yes. No call.
The players wanted some explanation on how the life counter worked. So.
It's very unintuitive.
To be fair, when I played the Invitational, I was also like, how does this work again? So.
It's fun. I have 150 clips already of people going like, oh, yeah. It's hilarious. I'm gonna make a huge collage one day with just players going like, how does this work? Okay,
and we're off to the races. Or is that your line? Right, so very quickly, is it Guildgate? Is it Guildgate? Is it Guildgate? Into Gateway Plaza. So, interesting play. Interesting card. I mean, it's a great way to fix your mana, but it's very expensive to have that one. To have to pay that 1 mana, of course.
Yeah. Because all your lands already enter the battlefield tapped.
Exactly. So it's very slow. And there's a search for a Skanta, I would assume. Yes. An absolutely amazing card, though plenty of people, myself included, don't always feel it deserves the rare slot. But we are usually proven wrong. And on the other side, search for a Skanta as well. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an auto lock-in in the reclamation, the wilderness reclamation decks.
You have to get those nexuses out for sure.
It's crazy in that deck. I mean, non-negotiable.
Whoop, and there goes Arthur with the Crackling Drake. In the meantime, Nathan seems to have missed one of his land drops already. So hoping to search into some lands. And there is one. And deploys, boom, Guild Summit. That is... Oh, I love that card so much. Suddenly you're not worried about drawing lands anymore. Oh, I draw a Guildgate. Oh, look at that. I draw a card.
What is this?
That is a search for a Skanta and a Guild Summit.
Both have a search
yes,
for
yes.
I completely missed that.
Nathan missed the land drop, but got to deploy a search for a Skanta to draw him out of there. Or lost a missed land drop as far as I can tell. Because it should be...
Search. So chat says search seems pretty unfair. Looks more like resolving a Skanta versus Gateway Plaza.
No, true. I just noticed that as well. Indeed, he does seem to have that in hand. But of course, cards in hand are a little bit more difficult for us to talk about to make sure that the players don't accidentally overhear us. Bins the Shivan Fire. I can see why you would do that. Though, if you kick the Shivan Fire, of course, it does hit the Drake, importantly.
In the meantime, we got a second Crackling Drake and only one opt in the graveyard, so it's only misses his trigger for the search for a Skanta. Yeah.
Oh, there is Tormenting Voice. That's growing those Drakes strongly immediately, but it gets negated, so...
That's
2 for 1. I mean, it's
irrelevant
for the Drakes' power, but it's still a 2 for 1.
Oh.
Ooh! Expansion taking care of that negate, adding another instant and sorcery to the graveyard. Those Drakes suddenly are 4/4s. It's a big play.
What's going on here?
Swings across the battlefield, hitting his opponent for 8 as far as I can tell. Yeah, that should be for 8, so life total should be going down to 11. Players do seem to have missed that on the life counter.
Nathan, life total?
No problem. There we go. So it's down to 11. Another Guildgate and draw a card. And here you immediately see why Guild Summit is such a great card. You just never run out of gas. Ixalan's Binding has been in Gentry since Ixalan release, basically. It's a great way for removal. because it also turns off the next copies. Little less good when there's already 2 copies of something on the field, for sure.
Well, I found it very funny how when it came out, we had another one that had Flash.
Yes.
And then everybody was like, why would you ever play a Excellence Binding? Like,
I mean, I still prefer the one with Flash and cycling over this.
Yeah, but it's because of the cycling.
Yeah.
The cycling breaks it for me, not the Flash.
But not just the cycling, right?
No.
I mean, with just cycling would also not be good enough. But it's a combination of both that, for me, still makes it a better card than Excellence Binding. Though I do love me some Excellence Bindings.
Cost out.
Cost out was indeed the card, right? Cost out? Cost down? Cost down is the... No, cost out, right. Cost down is the... Yeah. In the meantime, Nathan playing that opt. Bottom's a card. Looking for some more action and a removal somewhere for one of the drakes, because there are 2 4-powered drakes on the other side. It's not a crackling drake because Arthur cannot play those, but Enigma Drake conveniently gets around that casting limiter.
Shenanigans.
Bangs across for 8.
Also, Sander, we are missing you here as well. Needs more Sanders. Ooh.
Yes, there's only 3 Sanders, that's not good enough. In the meantime, is that a Slime Bind I see?
Yes.
But that gets Spell Pierced and Nathan scoops him up. But Slime Bind, very interesting card. If I'm not mistaken, a couple of months ago, we posted an article on the website written by Koba about the best commons of Ravnica Allegiance, or most interesting commons of Ravnica Allegiance. Yeah. Koba lovingly talked about Slime Bind.
And Blade Brand.
And Blade Brand. Both of which have seen, sadly, very little Gentry play. Though that doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. Absolutely not at all.
Yeah. Alright, so we saw a game where Nathan was struggling a little bit. Let's tone down the volume and have a little chat about sideboards.
So Nathan first?
Yeah, go ahead.
If Nathan...
So for Nathan we have Broken Bond, Crushing Canopy. That definitely coming in. Spell Pierce, Shivan Dragon.
Do you think so?
Crushing Canopy? Yes.
Oh yeah, Crushing Canopy, yeah.
Yeah. Broken Bond, probably not.
Yeah, I thought you meant both, but yeah, no, very true. I can definitely agree with that. Yeah, that is probably not good enough.
No. But Crushing Canopy is definitely coming in. Spell Pierce,
I cannot see why you wouldn't bring those in.
It's Shivan Fires, yes, they kill a drake.
Yeah, exactly.
Devious Cover-Up.
Probably not good enough.
I don't know.
4 mana for a counterspell. I mean, this is the matchup where you need to fight through things like potential dive downs, spell pierces. I don't think you can pay 4 mana for your counterspell. Yeah, because
very interestingly, often these decks, the Drake decks, are slower versions. Yeah. Arthur's version is not.
No,
it's
definitely
4 Crackling Drake, 4 Enigma Drakes, and 3 Terramanders. Yep. So the choice is usually between Terramander and Murmuring Mystic, with Terramander being the extra aggro option. Yep. So Arthur really going all out here.
Yeah, and I can totally understand that. And so the one of Revitalize is definitely not coming in. Yeah. Lomage is Binding coming in.
Slime Bind coming in.
I don't know if you can take out enough cards, but it's definitely worth bringing it in if you have the slots. And the Blessed Light is probably, again, too expensive for what it wants to do in the matchup at 5 mana. And Blink of an Eye, probably not, because I don't really see what it gives you over your other removal spells. Yeah.
And then Negate coming in. Sure. Okay, chat. What round is this? This is round 4. Both these players are undefeated right now. And apparently we said something funny because somebody clipped a thing. Well, let's get back on to that after.
So Arthur's sideboard, a lot less one-offs in comparison to the 4-color deck. He has 2 Disdainful Strokes, which are probably not coming in. I mean, depending on what he thinks his opponent's game plan is, Disdainful Stroke usually not... it really strongly depends on which version of the Gates deck you're playing, whether or not you want him in. True. So it really depends on what Arthur here thinks he's playing against. We know that it would be good, but that depends. Spell Pierces, obviously, I think they should definitely come in. You've seen 2, maybe 3 Gateway Plazas. You know your opponent's going to be constricted on mana a lot in the early game. Spell Pierce allows you to maximize your potential on that. You can keep 1 blue mana up as backup and still get to kill them. Mobile Speaker and Molovim is basically the same thing. Very irrelevant in the matchup, I would think. They don't block. It's not an aggro deck. Essence Scatter is probably not coming in. I don't think Arthur really wants to be defending against creatures because he's not. The Gates decks don't usually play creatures that fight in the air very well. The Negates, I should definitely think he would bring those in.
Yeah.
But then 3 more Shivan Fires that are also, in my opinion, not going to come in because Arthur saw literally not a single card they would be even castable against. So.
Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at the clip. Curious what this is now.
Ixalan's Binding has been in Gentry since Ixalan released, basically. Ixalan's Binding
I didn't hear anything.
Since Ixalan released, basically. I don't have a headphone, so I'm not hearing anything. Has been in Gentry since Ixalan released, basically. Ixalan's Binding has been in Gentry since Ixalan released, basically. Ixalan's Binding. What is so funny?
Apparently they really like the sound of your voice.
Ixalan's Binding has been in Gentry since Ixalan released, basically. Ixalan's Binding has been in Gentry since Ixalan released, basically. Ixalan's Binding has been in Gentry since... Oh boy, it keeps on being weird to hear myself. Yes. After all these years, after all that streaming and YouTube that I've done in my life, I'm still not used to hearing myself when recording.
Okay, we managed to yabble, babble, chatter through the entire sideboarding.
Which is perfect timing.
Great success. And let's get to game 2. We have a mulligan from Nathan.
And a scry to the bottom opens up with a forest. Versus an island, both full arts. Very nice. Opt for Arthur, trying to sculpt his hand into exactly what he wants it to be, because as we were talking about, it is a streamlined, aggressive deck. It really wants to just get out there, and obviously Opt fills out the graveyard. And Niels, you didn't go for the Opt with the art that he's actually playing?
I don't get to choose in Scryfall.
Yes, you do. You just have to type a little bit more words.
That's the thing.
You type the magical imprint, Ixalan. There you go. In the meantime, Growth Spiral for Nathan. I am in love with this card.
The chat goes, I thought since they aren't in London, they aren't allowed to mulligan. For those of you that don't know, in London next week they're introducing a trial for the new mulligan procedure. That's what Chocolate Girl is referencing.
Referring to or referencing, yes.
Yes.
Either or. What you did was a contamination. But oh well. Chart a course. No attacks, so he has to discard something and chooses to discard a land. Nathan, in the meantime, opting, because after the Growth Spiral, he still has not found his 3rd land. Opt to the bottom and draw. Draw for turn. And there you go, he finds another land. But this is some mana disadvantage for the Gates deck, not where you want to be. No matter what your build, or honestly, no matter what your deck, you don't really ever want to be at a mana disadvantage if you're both playing counterspells, or both playing blue, I should say. Arthur decides to run out the Crackling Drake. Nathan says, sure buddy, you get to resolve that. In the meantime, it looks like we're going to get a little bit of a break for the feature match, because something seems to be happening over there. You see, Nathan is winning a prize right now. We are also doing a raffle. Niels, can you...
Yeah, so every round we're giving away one of the first edition playmats, and Nathan Gottlieb has won one of them. So, can you play monocolored aggro in this format with success?
Oh yes, yes.
Previous round, mono blue aggro with Curious Obsession won on camera. And mono white is definitely a playable if tier 2 deck at this point.
I think mono white is going to pick up a lot with War of the Spark because of the 1 mana counter your Gates Ablaze.
Yeah.
And mono red is also absolutely a thing. Someone's playing mono green who's 3-0
and doing well
4-0
on camera. We've seen
that
as well.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So yes, you can absolutely play mono. Well, the mono green deck isn't really aggro, but you can absolutely play monocolored aggro for sure. In the meantime, Arthur gone up to 6 lands, had his advice for it countered, but Nathan still at 3 lands, not doing all that much. Okay. So, in regards to the question for Niels and Menace, it's round 3, so no one is 4-0 right now, or at least as far as we know.
No, it's round 4, so no one is 4-0 yet.
What did I say exactly?
No one is 3-0.
Well, no one is 4-0, or yet. They might have finished their game, but as far as we know, there are 7 people at 3-0, going into this round. So we would either have 3 or 4 people at 4-0 after this round.
Yeah. Both of these are undefeated yet.
Yeah.
Still. Yet. Can't talk anymore.
And there is also a Theramander gets adapted. Not finding the 4th land. Looking to be crushed.
No.
Yeah. Very sad to see a feature match end like this. Or any match, honestly. Getting mana screwed is always painful. Especially if you kept a 2-lander, you play Growth Berry, play an Opt, and you find only 1 land through that. Oof. Very
Pure Zerstörung this was. Yes, Chocolate Girl, you should be doing the coverage here. So, can you play monocolored aggro in this format with success? Apparently, yes. Every color. Except mono black, we haven't really seen.
We haven't seen it.
Matza's tried with the mono black disruption spectacle hybrid. That not the most successful.
You also don't quite call it aggro, I don't think.
No,
it's more of a hand disruption deck. But you can play mono black aggro. I just think that it gets beaten out easily by the decks that add white to become Ors of aggro.
What is this sign on your shirt? I assume you mean my shirt. It is the Lady Planeswalker Society Belgium t-shirt. It's awesome.
Yep. And my shirt is
this sign is my little name tag. Let me show it to the camera because it's so cool. It doesn't really... It says that Happy Viking. At least that you can read.
So have you been talking a lot about today's meta? About which decks are present?
Yes, we did a full meta game walkthrough after round 1. As a little recap for the people that are interested, the most played deck is Ors of Afterlife aggro, trailed by mono blue, mono red, blue red drakes, and Dimir control, where if you loop in Dimir control with Esper control, you get the second biggest group. Okay. And they're very spiritually related to each other. What's noticeably missing is Nexus of Fate.
Yeah, there's a single deck.
A single deck playing Reclamation.
No. Well, there's a single Reclamation deck.
Yes.
There's at least 2 decks playing Nexus of Fate, or there was.
Okay.
Because I play Nexus of Fate as a rare.
Sure. Shenanigans.
Hey, play Ram into Nexus, boom for 10 again. I didn't do that because I'm here, so.
You heard it here first, folks. Boom for 10 and do it again. Okay. So we're going to give you some music as we step away and wait for the next round. It's going to be a bit of a wait.
We could get something going on there if you want. We can see if we can get a match going on there. Or
I have a better plan.
You're gonna play the.
Let's
show Jeskai control versus Mono. Oh.
They already started. These are not the correct names.
But I'm not in this match.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's swap the view. What are you doing?
This is the wrong one. What's it doing? I have to wait until their sleeves are. Help!
Oh no, it's black. Niels, what are you doing? Stop. That's the one. There we go. So you get to watch a very zoomed in version.
What?
No, it's zoomed in on the YouTube thing for some reason. What? Hold on. Just click your... excuse us for the... What is this? Are there no other settings for this scene?
No?
What?
And there's no filter on there?
Just make a new source, maybe.
Okay, so let's just go back to this for a while we try to fix you something in the background.
Yeah. Okay. In the meantime, if you want to talk about, if you want to talk about the meta and certain decks, I have tested a good amount for this event, so I'm definitely open to talking about stuff and sharing my experiences, especially relating to the prevalence of Ors of aggro. I definitely expected that. It was a great deck. We noticed as well in the leaderboard events here in Ghent that people played that more and more and more, because it does beat gates, it does beat mono red. It was great to beat the top decks at that time. And as we see in the numbers of Esper and Dimir decks, what I expected to see happen as well is the amount of decks that can and usually also do play Cry of the Carnarium, because that is Ores of Aggro's big weakness. Cry of the Carnarium will just absolutely smash you if you don't play around it, and even playing around it usually slows you down enough that you end up losing.